UWF spent an inordinate amount of time talking about how they wanted to take wrestling back to the past.
The way professional wrestling used to be. Formula of the Universal Wrestling Federation.
The thing is, UWF was also ahead of its time in many ways. The execution usually left a lot to be desired, but at least Herb Abrams tried.
Unsurprisingly, though, the result was weird, like really, really weird. And in many cases, this weirdness has been lost in time, at least until now.
On this special guest referee episode, we're going to be looking at the weird things that you forgot about in the UWF. And today, it's a look at their bizarre, very bizarre fitness product commercials. So yeah, put down the wimp food, strap on the total arm blaster plate thing, because it's time to get pumped up.
Or at the very least, let's just enjoy a nice, hearty, room temperature pitcher of protein shake.
Welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Did you know UWF had their very own line, or at least two supplements and, well, protein stuff, something called high IT. I don't really know what it was, but it was designed to get you jacked. Tim, if I offered you some UWF protein shake or mass bulk gainer, would you be interested in getting your pump on?
No, because I assume it's probably from some faraway land.
I think I have something that's going to change your mind here, because they did a whole commercial promoting their fitness pulled protein. I don't even know. Let's just watch the commercial.
Today's modern strength and power builders need today's best power sauce. And here in the UWF, we have it with two great new drinks. High Octane and Super Weight Gain are specially formulated for ultimate serious power and strength. Besides, it's not only for the big guys, it's for the average fellas who want to improve their strength and size. The power products are now available through this exclusive UWF offer.
So I'm only going to assume your mind has officially been changed. I don't know how anyone cannot be persuaded by that amazing sales pitch. I mean, did you not see Stevie Ray quickly drink that protein shake? It must be delicious.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he did not regret drinking it at all. Neither did the second guy either, who looked like he maybe lifted a weight like 2 years ago. And then I totally loved the three guys at the end who are like really looking at it, really discussing the materials in this drink, whatever's in it. I mean, who knows? Hopefully it's protein, but I mean, who knows?
I felt like when we saw those three guys, one of them was getting a little like touchy-feely. It was like, oh, you could get like, It was almost like a breast exam. It's like, your pecs are going to get this big, which I found a bit awkward. Also, like, was the second guy not wearing a shirt? And why was he not wearing a shirt?
Yeah, I don't know either. It's like, are you supposed to show that normal guys can drink this? He could be wearing a shirt. It's fine. We know he's normal by looking that he looks pretty normal. Looks like he weighs maybe $145 wearing a shirt.
Let me tell you, I was absolutely relieved to find out average guys could take it too, because I thought I would have been excluded from having these products broadcast on, well, not live television, but television on Sports Channel America. Like, I thought like maybe I wasn't cut enough or athletic enough to buy products on a direct-to-TV ad. So I felt, a sense of relief that it was for everyone. You gotta love freedom, right?
Yeah, and then after you drink, you can have a guy behind you go like this to tell you how big you're going to be. You're going to be this big now.
It's more like caressing your pec, though.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I will say. What exactly is that high octane? Like, we know what the mass muscle weight gain builder, whatever it is, we know what that does. But the second product was not explained at all.
I'm assuming it's a pre-workout kind of thing, but I would still be scared as to what's in it, because this is like, whatever it is, the early 90s. I don't know if they had all of the great bodybuilding things that we have now, and all the different ingredients like creatine and amino acids and all that stuff. So it probably was just like caffeine and a protein shake. It was probably just like a cup of coffee and a protein shake combined. That's probably what that was.
2 words for you: Mexican ephedra. This is a Herb Abrams like promotion we're talking about.
And I'm sure he had access to it.
That and many other things. The one question I do have is, after you take what potentially could be a pre-workout, we don't know that specifically, where would you go to work out? I don't know if I, as just an average Joe, have a place I can, if not work out, at least buy a t-shirt of said establishment? Like, do you have any ideas there?
I do have an idea. How about the Power Shack Gym? If you're wondering where the Power Shack Gym is, we don't really know either. It's some small gym chain in like central Ohio. Let's look at this ad and see if we can figure out more.
UWF.
It's where all the UWF superstars train. It's the Power Shack Gym, and it tells everyone just how serious you are about working out. Now, the UWF, in an exclusive agreement with Power Shack, is selling these impossible-to-get rag shirts and bat shirts through this exclusive UWF offer.
So I can't get you a membership to this gym, but I can get you a gym shirt or a rag shirt for $15.
Normally I'd be on the fence, but since there's only one size available and only one color of each, like that was a really big selling point. Don't make me choose between black or white. I want one color and one size only. So thankfully I won't be standing around like Don Morocco just staring off into space during this commercial.
They literally just left the camera on him for 30 seconds. They're like, oh, he's wearing the shirt. Let's get B-roll of him. They have my favorite Steve Ray there, though. Steve Ray is just my star of this whole thing. He's there, and he comes up again because they probably filmed this once and then showed it in, 12 other commercials of him drinking that protein shake and looking like he hates his life.
He did. There was just like a million different emotions because we saw Steve Ray drink the shake, but they cut away because they don't want his just face of like he's smiling, but you can also tell his soul has just been absolutely destroyed, and he's just like he's trying to think like, can I keep this warm protein shake down? Like, why am I here? What did I ever do to deserve this? That all of that just is on his like blank smiling face. And like, you gotta feel for the guy because that had to have been horrific. And it was probably sitting around all day if they're filming a bunch of commercials.
Yeah, so not only has it been sitting out for a while, but, he's had to probably drink a couple of sips out of it, and he regrets every decision he's made after every sip.
I want to look at the structure of this commercial because this shouldn't be a commercial, and not even from the selling a shirt for a gym people aren't going to because it's some small Ohio gym. We can talk about that in a minute. This is just all, as you said, B-roll from other commercials that they pieced together. And then Herb Abrams doesn't even write a 30-second script. There's like 18 seconds of dialogue and then 12 seconds of just background music. And the music doesn't even go up a level. It's still at the same level it was. This is such a UWF thing where it's basically a commercial version of Fury Hour where we don't have enough content. We don't have enough new content. So we're just going to string along the same match for 3 episodes and keep cutting away from it for no apparent reason. And I mean, Don Morocco, I don't even think he was supposed to be filming. I don't think anyone should have been filming that. Like someone was just like, well, we need someone wearing this shirt, and that's what they had. Like, what? Why couldn't they get more just footage? Like they had B-roll of the shirts. Like, why would you not use more of that? Why would you use a shot of Don Morocco like off to the side? You can't even see the stupid logo. That logo for the Power Shack Gym, by the way, is just like a house with like bulging bicep arms. It's the stupidest thing, but yeah, like wow.
Yeah. It's as if like the only people in the commercial who are really, actually filming for the commercial are, I believe, Steve Ray at the beginning, and I think that's Sunny Beach, the other wrestler, and because they were in a tag team. No,
that's another promo.
Oh,
because you, if you
I
can
thought
hear
they
them, they're
were
like
doing
talking.
it.
No, that's a promo. They're not. And the audio working here is so bad. Like you can kind of hear them like just like goofing around. I don't know if it was just them like before promo, just bullshitting or whatever.
UWF.
That's not a Power Shack. That had nothing to do with the Power Shack.
So this commercial is a complete B-roll commercial. It was literally somebody had a minute to fill and was like, let's find a bunch of B-roll and let's promote this commercial. That's basically what they did here because nothing is actually promoting. It's all B-roll then. That's what you're saying? Everyone's B-roll?
To sell shirts for a gym brand in Ohio. Like who saw this commercial?
And it's like, I need to get a gym shirt from Ohio. They were going for 80s gym culture, and they got absolutely nothing in this commercial. And it was probably filmed in 1991. And they were 10 years past the point of when this was cool, and they just figured to put it on and leave it on the commercial.
The Power Shack Gym shirts commercial, wildly ineffective. I think we both agree about that. But do I have a commercial that's going to make you want to buy this product? It's going to excite you. It's almost going to feel like you're being browbeaten into buying something. It's very loud, but I think all I need to say is, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, sell me something weird that kind of makes it look like you're wearing a sports bra.
What? You think it's easy being Mr. Wonderful? Well, it's not true. People are always trying to throw me around. And to make sure that doesn't happen, I use Joe Weider's Total Arm Blaster. It's the best way I know to keep my arms pumped and strong. So if you want massive steel-like arms, do what I do. Blast away with the Total Arm Blaster. And here's the same number that I call.
Whoa, Mr. Wonderful. I am really sorry. Please don't yell at me. I'm sorry. I will buy your bra metal thing. I'm sorry. I'll buy it.
What?
Firstly, what is up with the superimposed background of him walking into a cage? Wouldn't you do like a gym or something, or like something workout themed?
Also, is that steel cage photo, are they legal? Like, are they able to use that? I don't think that's from UWF. It's probably from like WWF, and they probably superimposed it, and it probably wasn't legally right. So, number one, does it not make any sense? And number two, it's probably illegal for them to use it.
That does appear to be the case. I know Orndorff did have a steel cage match. I don't know where in the timeline it was with the filming of these. This device, firstly, it doesn't feel like he's using it correctly. And we don't even know what it is for like the first 10 to 12 seconds. He's just standing there with this, like in the stocks, and he's just yelling at us.
It does look like he's at the stocks ready to get his head chopped off because his arms are there and he's got this metal plate across his stomach. I mean, at first, yes, you have no idea what it is. Also, his arms are hanging down, so you don't know that he's holding anything at first. And then he does the curl, so you know it's supposed to be a curling machine to keep your arms straight. Like, I understood that by the end, but when you have a man yelling at you with his arms down, wearing a metal plate across his chest, I'm really wondering what is going on here. This commercial literally, I don't think anybody would tune out because you just want to know what's going on.
I don't understand why the first word he says is screaming what?
What?
He just appeared on our screen. There was no way in any setup that the person watching would have been asking him a question and that he didn't hear it. Like what are they going for with that introduction? Like, why not just get into the product? Like, just what? Like, what is this? What for?
What?
I think it's just so that he can. I bet you what it was they started this promo and he did it and it was awful. And then they were like, you know what? Just start yelling at me, Mr. Wonderful. And he started yelling, and he was just like, what do you want me to yell about? What? And then he just started his promo like that.
Do you think, and you've seen a few of these fitness commercials, do you think the director said action and Paul Orndorff was like, what? And then they just pointed at him and he started to read?
That's you know what? That might be either that or it was just what you and me do during these shows where we just leave the camera hitting record and they just let him record 10 of these and they just were hoping that one of them was good.
And he didn't edit out that part. They refused to edit it. It had to be one take, and they couldn't get the what out, so they were like, well, good enough. The story of UWF, good enough.
You know what? They probably only had one tape, and that was it. They didn't want to re-record over it. This is it. This is the one tape. This is all we had, one shot.
This, I don't want to say machine, but this apparatus is super niche.
It's not really an apparatus. It's literally somebody found a piece of metal and put it across their chest, and that was the apparatus. Like, this can't be patented. Like, who patented this? I mean, it's literally just two straps with a metal bar. Like, what is this?
We'll talk a little bit more about Joe Weider in a minute because his whole career was pretty dodgy and pretty shady. Finally, though, there's one last thing I want to mention. So UWF wants you to buy this weird looking contraption while you're wearing a shirt from another gym you should probably, like, in theory, be a member of. Like, there's just, it feels like these do not add up. There's some conflict of interest here in sponsors for the UWF.
I can't think that a Power Shack gym in Central Ohio is giving them a bunch of money, nor is this guy giving them this apparatus giving them a bunch of money either. So I don't know. I'm assuming that Herb probably is skimming some money off the top of however many they sold of this metal strap thing.
Yeah, everything goes through the UWF address. It's the same address they use for the reader letters. That's the same thing they use for everything. So it's all going through whatever weird company Herb Abrams has set up. Same number as well. Yeah, this is all, I imagine they're probably a reseller or something. I don't know what's going on with the gym shirts. Like, it's probably doing someone a solid. This, though, is them reselling Joe Weider products and just letting Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Did they not have anyone else on the roster who could have read this ad?
Yeah, I mean, they had Brian Blair, who's actually, like, good. I mean, he's in a couple of ads that we've seen that we, and he's good. He's a good reader. Like, do not put Don Morocco in these things because you can't understand anything he's saying. But it's like Paul Orndorff, I'm guessing they had him in here because Paul Orndorff's probably getting the most money out of anyone, or is maybe he knows Joe Weider or something. That was my assumption, was that he knew Weider and Weider was giving him product and then Orndorff would sell it on and then he would get sort of a cut of it. Because, yeah, you're right. Like, nobody else, like, Jimmy Snuka, who's in the Federation, he doesn't show up on it, which I get, why we don't want him now on things. But back then it would have probably helped out things. They also had Orton. They had Bob Orton Sr. They could have put him in something. He's not in any commercials, I don't think, either. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And they're running out of choices here of people who they can put in commercials. We pretty much ran through the gambit of people because I don't think Dr. Death shows up anytime soon. And Sid's only in there right at the end. So, yeah, there's no other giant, big, muscular guys hanging around there. Well,
we're going to stick in the realm of fitness products. I don't even know what to call this next thing. You're going to want to buy it, though. It doesn't feature any wrestlers. It gets, I'm just going to run it because I don't know if words will do this commercial justice.
Pump it up. Work it out. Step it up. Feel the power of progressive resistance. Get the aerobic advantages of a full-size stepper with over 30 strength and toning exercises. Flex CTS, the better choice. At retail stores throughout America.
I bet you didn't see that last part coming. The official training apparatus of the UWF. How could you not want to buy 3? One for you, one for your wife, and one for the dog. Because it looks aggressive resistance. How could you not want that?
And it's also Goodyear official or something. Goodyear gives the traction of it or something with Goodyear I saw in there. I wasn't really sure. Also, the whole time I was watching this, I was like, where is the UWF in this? And then, yeah, literally 2 seconds before the commercial is over, it says the official apparatus of UWF. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. It actually doesn't look too terrible of a machine. I mean, 2 people can use it at once. I mean, the only thing is, like, where are the weights? The guy was putting weights on it. I just didn't see, like, I was actually looking at the machine to try to see, like, how you can do 2 things at once. It looks like it's an okay machine, but I'm sure it didn't do all that well because I don't think anybody alive still has one of these.
It looked like those 2 were about to start banging for a different, like, movie project, like, right after this wrapped up on that weight machine. Like, that gave me some strong early 90s porno vibes. A lot of crotch shots for something selling a fitness app, right? Like, there were multiple shots of, like, that woman's, like some side crotch action, which, who are they selling this to? Are you selling it to a man who wants... I don't want to get lost in that because that's a whole other thing. The UWF mention at the end... I don't know if that's actually a thing or that's just something they put on the end, because if that company is paying for the ad spot, why does UWF need to be involved? It's almost like UWF and Herb Abrams were like, well, if some other advertiser sees this commercial, maybe they'll think we're a reputable brand, because this is the only reputable product we've seen so far. And I mean, could that be a possibility?
Yeah, that could be a possibility. There wasn't a phone number or anything and an address at the end, right? So, I mean, it's not like it was going to that Marina Del Rey address that he uses for everything. So, I mean, yeah, you actually had to, contact the company to buy this thing. So, yeah, this is just like a standard ad that they definitely just added their name in at the end. This isn't like Joe Weider's gym or anything. So, where they're all over.
We've watched quite a bit of UWF commercials recently. This is maybe one of, I don't know how many you would say. I'd say this is about one of 5 just standard television commercials that we've seen during UWF programming. There are not a lot of regular advertisers. There's a lot of fringe stuff going to Marina Del Rey mail orders, and I was weird seeing this, and then of course UWF puts their name on it anyway.
Yeah, and speaking of products, yes, they do a lot of weird products, and we definitely want to get to more of them, because there's tons of weird things that this company promotes, this promotion promotes. I guess they're a company too, because essentially they're just a mail order catalog for random crap that you probably wouldn't want to buy anyway. But yeah, that was one of the weirdest. I think when you first sent me this, I did not believe that it was a UWF commercial. Yeah, it does not. It looks like 100% better than every other UWF commercial that they have. I mean, it's much, even though we do love a total arm blaster of Mr. Wonderful's ad, we do love it. It looks like it was filmed in his basement with a green screen behind it. At least this one looks like there was a set. They had 2 people. They were in like a bedroom. They had a carpeted floor. I mean, it looked pretty presentable, even though it did kind of look like the beginning of a softcore porno from Showtime in '93. But, it looked like it was professional at least.
I will say, when I was watching that commercial, all I could think about was Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and how I wish he was yelling at me some more, trying to sell me something. If only there were something like that. Tim, do you have any ideas where I can get that Orndorff shouting buzz?
Oh, I certainly do.
Hey, you little Mr. Wonderfuls out there. You think Mr. Wonderful got to look like this by eating wimp food like cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche? Get real. A talented serious athlete like me needs real nutrition. So I drink Joe Weider's Dynamic Muscle Builder. It's got high-quality protein, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and other important stuff I need to meet my opponent in the ring. And it tastes great, too. And it's just like a thick, rich milkshake. Joe Weider's Dynamic Muscle Builder. Tough nutrition for us tough athletes. And here's the number.
Okay, Paul, to order, call 1-800-368-4UWF. Dynamic Muscle Builder is also available by sending a check or money order to Weider Health and Fitness, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. Or go to your nearest GNC store and ask for Dynamic Muscle Builder.
So who was he talking to here? Little Mr. Wonderfuls? Because I'm very confused as to who those are.
So it's a children's product. He's selling a children's product, right?
You think Mr. Wonderful got to look like this by eating wimp food like cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche?
Wimp foods, cheeseburgers, french fries, quiche?
Quiche sounds a lot healthier than burgers and fries to me.
I mean, there's a pastry element to it, but if he's talking to the little Mr. Wonderfuls, what 9 to 15, what kid is eating quiche in America ever? I don't remember. Was there just this big quiche pandemic that was causing people to be obese in 91? Like the great American quiche pandemic of 91 that I forgot about and just made it a wimp food.
Also, quiche, I'd say yes, quiche is a wimp food compared to a burger. Yes, a burger is a more wimpy food to me, but I guess to Mr. Wonderful, they're all wimpy and we're all wimps.
Talk about which one doesn't belong. Cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche. Oh, by the way, as we get later on in this commercial, I want you to keep in mind these wimp foods you'll see later on.
Get real. A talented serious athlete like me needs real nutrition.
Get real nutrition. He's holding this pitcher of mysterious liquid that does not look healthy, by the way. I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, and I mean, he's yelling at you as well, so that's another thing. So, I mean, you're listening, you're getting yelled at, but you don't really know what's going on or why we're getting yelled at. So, yeah, it's a very confusing commercial, and you're also a little scared because, yeah, you don't know what's in that picture or what he's going to do with it.
Forget about Mr. Wonderful. Like, Paul Orndorff's nickname should have been One Note because he has one note and he plays it the entire time. Like, there's no nuance in this performance.
Yeah, and you can totally tell that he needed cue cards or he needed to do this multiple times because he's just rambling. He's just talking. He's just reading to get through this and then to go to the next step, which is probably the best step in this commercial.
It's got high quality protein, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and other important stuff I need to meet my opponent in the ring.
What just happened here? That was supposed to be an ad lib, right? Beat, did I say meat? But he reads it so fast and so aggressively and so clearly just reading. Like he doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just reading a line. Why not just say beat, by the way? Why would it, if you're trying to promote like how strong this, whatever you're holding is, why wouldn't you just say beat anyway? Like, why are you trying to protect your face status in UWF? Like, I can't be too cocky. But you're reading it so fast. I don't think anyone picked up on that, like, because it was just read so fast. You're just like, did he misspeak? Like,
again, this is another thing where it's like, did they do a second take or did they just do one take and say that's good enough? Let's just put it on because yeah, it did not look like he, they wanted to do something there, but he just didn't look like it executed very well.
Oh, but there's going to be more lack of execution coming up because we finally get the payoff here.
And it tastes great too. And it's just like a thick, rich milkshake.
Okay, so he drinks the milkshake. I'm surprised he drank it out of that pitcher. I mean, at least he looks like he kind of enjoyed it.
Can I take a 20-second timeout? Is that the same pitcher Stevie Wild Thing Ray was drinking out of?
I hope not. If it was, that's an old milkshake sitting around there for a while. Maybe that's why Steve Ray made that face, because it was sitting out there for a while.
So Paul Orndorff had to do his ad read, so it could have been there for maybe like a couple hours, given Orndorff's inability to produce one good take.
Also, he's yelling, so he's probably spitting into the giant pitcher of milkshake that then Steve Ray has to shovel down his gullet like 2 minutes later. So yeah, again, this was all done in one take. They just made one milkshake too. Some guy just made one pitcher of milkshake and was like, this is the pitcher we're using for the entire day. I don't care what happens to you guys.
we can't waste too much of Joe Weider's product. Like we're not that high flying organization. We got to be spindrift. So we're just going to make the one thing and everyone's drinking one protein pitcher for all the wrestlers on the commercial shoot day.
And it's just like a thick, rich milkshake.
Whoa, Paul, what do you even know what a milkshake tastes like, especially a thick, rich one? That kind of sounds like wimp food. I mean, cheeseburgers, french fries, milkshakes. It's more in line than like a quiche. Who's ever gone to like Burgerville and said like, can I have the combo meal, but can you sub out the drink for a quiche?
You think Mr. Wonderful got to look like this by eating wimp food like cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche?
Yeah, Orndorff apparently okay with wimp foods as long as they're in a room temperature pitcher. I don't even know. Joe Weider, though, let's talk about Joe Weider because he's an interesting cat.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about him.
Please feel free to ask.
I have a lot of questions about him. First question is he a real person?
He is a real person, a legendary bodybuilder. He actually started Muscle and Fitness magazine, although it was called something else. He was a really key component of that whole muscle bodybuilding scene back in the day. He also had his own line of fitness products, and in the 70s and 80s, he was constantly getting in trouble for over-promising and under-delivering, and sometimes just flat-out lying about things his products could do. He faced several lawsuits, almost all of which he lost, because he was saying things like, it would get you... He was basically just doing the things Paul Orndorff has done in both of these commercials, and saying, like, if you use this sports bra belt whatever I've made, you're gonna get like arms of steel, and if you drink this protein shake you're gonna get super jacked. And Joe Weider is in many ways a contemporary of Herb Abrams, just in that, like, kind of scammy, kind of dodgy, not really doing great stuff. But Joe Weider is, yes, a real person.
Well, that is good. I'm glad he's a real person. I mean, I figured he was, but you never know with UWF. So that's why I just wanted to make sure I asked that, what he was. And it makes sense that he was sued for making false claims and, being misleading, because it fits that he would be with UWF, which also, did a lot of misleading to their customers, the few customers they had, and made false claims as well.
Very true. And we're almost done with this ad, but can we please wrap it up in the most awkward way possible?
And here's the number.
Okay, Paul, to order, call.
Okay, Herb, thank you very much for that. Now, here is what? We're already out of commercials? What are we even doing here? I don't know if you want total blasted content of steel, protein, whatever, but where am I going right now? What happened?
It's all right. Calm down. It's UWF.
Founder and president Herb Abrams to bring professional wrestling back to the glory days.
These commercials are all bad, and all of these products are pretty terrible, really confusing, but in the years that follow, you can kind of see where they were going. They were a trailblazer when it came to implementing certain elements of that fitness products and fitness culture into professional wrestling.
Yes, I mean, I know you were kind of introing this at the beginning, and then I asked you this off screen, but this looks a lot like Ico Pro, which was in WWF in 93, 94, and I believe a little bit of 95 before it went completely away. But yeah, this is what it pretty much looks like, because Ico Pro was just a bunch of pills and shakes and pre-workouts. They didn't do the whole metal belt bra thing, but maybe they should have.
That we know about.
That we know about. But they definitely did do shakes and pre-workout stuff. And I remember that was really geared towards children, which it should not have been.
Those damn children, they're just too busy eating wimp food like quiche and
yeah.
escargot and meringues and I don't know, whatever French things you can think of. Yeah, Ico Pro is a good pull because you can definitely see how UWF might have influenced that, because there wasn't really a lot of that interplay between the supplements and products all the wrestlers were probably taking alongside steroids, of course. To see UWF do this before WWF was doing it is really interesting. And of course, seeing how they did it is probably even more interesting because it's really bad. There's also a connection with the gym aspect, the Power Shack gym. This is something we see 8 or 9 years later in WCW.
Yeah, with Lex Luger and Sting. They own their gym. I can't remember the name of it, but you mentioned it before.
Monarch Gym.
Monarch Gym, yes. Monarch Gym, and I believe he had the logo on him. Sting did not have the logo, but I believe they even mentioned it on WCW programming, besides them wearing the shirts and having the gear. They did actually mention it by name, so everyone knew. A lot of people knew anyway that Sting and Luger were friends for years, but I don't think a lot of people knew that they owned this gym together, and they would promote it on WCW without Turner's, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand how Luger got the logo of his own gym on his trunks. But there was that connection between the gym and WCW, even if it was loosely affiliated. Then again, we don't really know how the Power Shack gym was connected to UWF. Again, maybe one of the wrestlers was involved with it. Maybe Herb owned their owner some money. There's all kinds of different things. But yeah, just another interesting sort of connection between what would happen in wrestling from this point, that UWF, I guess, maybe did it first, or if not, we're did it before it was more mainstream.
They definitely did it first. They didn't do it better, but they definitely did it first before WWF did, because WCW was not doing any sort of stuff like this. They did have, their phone line and their merchandise, but they never had protein shakes and, different workout materials and other products that we will be pushing, products that you don't even think would need to be on a wrestling program. UWF definitely sponsored it. Like, think of something that you don't even think you would ever see in a WWF show, and they definitely did.
Yeah, like, we'll get into this down the road. I don't want to give any spoilers, but holy crap, was UWF somehow ahead of its time and also just woefully unable to execute this grand vision of schemery and grifting, and I mean, holy hell. If there was something crappy, UWF was trying to sell it to the 5 people watching their show on Sports Channel.
And make sure that you send your money to the Marina Del Rey address or you're not getting your product. And you probably weren't going to get it anyway.
I looked that up on Google Maps. It's a real place. Like, I don't know if it's a house or a place of business or what it was at the time, but it really existed. It was just for whatever reason, it was where all of their mail order stuff went to.
So we will be having definitely more videos about UWF because there's just so many commercials, not even matches, just commercials and other stuff that we want to talk about. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel below. Check out our other pages like Wrong Sports. You can also check out the Touchback. All of that is in the description below. And just a reminder,
if you are the special guest referee in UWF and Paul Orndorff just happens to be in the ring, well, expect something like this to happen.
What? You think it's easy being Mr. Wonderful? You think Mr. Wonderful got to look like this by eating wimp food like cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche?
I don't know what the hell that was, but sure, well said, Paul. Well said.